My name is Paola Armeni Androvandi. I was born in London and moved to the United States when I was 4 years old. I currently reside in Las Vegas. I did a little bit of moving every couple years from London to now to being in Las Vegas. I am a wife, I am a mother of a daughter, a 4-year-old little girl, and I am currently an attorney, a shareholder at Gordon Silver in Las Vegas, where I practice in the government investigations business crime section. I think the American dream to me means the opportunity to be able to do what somebody wants to do. There's no limit. We're protected, in this country we're very lucky because we're protected by our Constitution and the rights and the privileges that are within that document that allow us to be protected from things and allow us the right to do certain things. And I think that the American dream is just being able to be in a country where you can have some sort of dream and goal and aspiration and be able to get the tools to do that. You know, my dad is probably the typical American dream because he was a waiter and kind of worked his way up, and when we moved to Las Vegas he became assistant vice president for beverage at Caesar's Palace. But he is true really working your way up. He wasn't handed anything. He literally went through every step of the way to get where he was. And he has always been, both my parents have been big proponents of education. It's not necessarily always having a house, but it's having an education. It's getting a job that you like and you enjoy, being able to support a family, you know, being able to pass that along to your kids so they're able to get an education and do what they want to do as well. Education, to me, I've always been taught, education opens doors. As far as it changing, I mean, I think it's definitely changed over the years. I think you've seen it develop. The American dream has almost expanded. It's gone into different genders. I think you see more women. I mean, I'll use the example of my law school class. I mean, now it's half and half. Years and years ago, that certainly wasn't the case. You'd be lucky if you had 1 or 2 women in your class. So I think the American dream has really developed to include other people now and other genders, other races, other ethnicities, and just allowed more people to experience the American dream. Now pretty much all the bailiffs at the courthouse know me. But in the beginning, I'd be asked if I was the media, if I was this, if I was that. I mean, the last thing out of their mouth was ever a lawyer. You know, and it's kind of like, okay. And I've had experiences where I've been in court and I've watched somebody ask me for my bar card and not ask any of the other male attorneys. And so I think a lot of it sometimes has to do with if it's a young person walking into a courtroom, they're not sure, but I also think you add a female element to it, and unfortunately sometimes people, and not everybody, I think a lot of people are very accepting. They're a woman, just like a man, bring different perspectives to things. So a woman's perspective to a case can be very helpful and can be completely different than a man's perspective. That's why I think you actually need both. But I do think, yeah, I think that there still are some barriers. Nothing that we can't get over, but definitely some barriers still. I enjoy people, I enjoy working with people, and I enjoy helping people. And I think the area of just law in general is about helping people, whether you do it in the civil arena, you do it in the criminal arena. It's about whether you're interpreting something for somebody, whether you're helping them, you're righting a wrong somewhere. So there's different facets of obviously law, but at the end of the day, lawyers help people and guide people. So that was something that interests me, and I've always, you know, I feel like I'm very fortunate. And so I look at it as an opportunity, you know, especially in the criminal justice system. I deal with people all the time, and some of them are not very fortunate. Some of them are and still commit the crime, so there's not necessarily always that combination, but it's just, I look at it as a way for me to help people and be their voice. Especially in the criminal arena, you are the voice for people that normally don't have a voice. You get some clients that they're 50 years old, this is the first time they've gotten in trouble and probably will never get in trouble again. I have other clients that are 18 and, you know, I can see them potentially, it's a continual cycle with them. But I will tell you that when I talk to them, I always say, what do we do now so that you're not back in this position? You know, what do I need to do for you? Because I look at my role, yes, ultimately, if I'm in a criminal case, I see them through the criminal case, I see them through sentencing if we get that far, or a trial, or whatever the the span is particularly for them. But at the end of the day, as a person, I do care that they're not back in the system. So I always do have that conversation with my clients about, is this what you want? I mean, if this is what you want, then fine, you know, as long as you understand that this is the life you're going to lead. But if it's not, what do we do? You have a drug problem. Do we get you in a drug treatment program? Do we get you your DED? What do we do to kind of get you back on the right path, if that's the path you want to be on? Because you got, obviously, if my client at the end of the day doesn't want to be on that path, I can't force them. All I want to do, though, is if they do, give them the opportunity to give them the help with the resources to get them on that path. I feel like I've been very blessed, and I think when people are very blessed, they should give back to the community. Again, I think I get that from my parents, because I was raised in a family where it was very important to, we were always taught to give back and do things with the community. My dad has started, I think he's on his second charity here, the Las Vegas Business Academy, and that, for instance, we give 2 scholarships to master's students that want, undergraduate students that want to attend a master's program in hotel administration or their MBA, and we give them, we pay for their whole tuition, all their books, we give them a mentor. And the beauty with our board is actually we're trying to educate them globally. So even though they may be in the hotel industry, they'll spend a week with me as a lawyer, they'll spend a week with the gentleman from Red Bull, they'll spend a week with somebody from Zappos. So basically you're kind of broadening their education. So although maybe their MBA would be, their master's would be in hotel administration or hotel hospitality, they're getting kind of a broader education. They're not limited. I think our profession gets a bad rap, and that's why I think it's even more important to go out in the community and do positive things for the community, so people see, you know what, lawyers do good things, and lawyers educate other people. And we do a program through I'm the chair of the Young Lawyers section of the State Bar right now, and we do a program called Goldilocks, and it's based on the trial of Goldilocks, where we go to elementary schools and we teach them about, like, it's an introduction to the legal system, but it's taking a story they know, but it's great because we're actually educating these kids, and most of them are probably more educated by the time we're done with this program than most adults. Like, they know that Goldilocks doesn't have to testify. You know, that's her constitutional right not to testify, and how important it is to be a juror and listen to what the evidence is, and not to make up your mind, and really to have a discussion about it. So I think there's important things that are law related. I think I try and do things that are education related, and I just try and do things to give back to the community, because I really do think it's important. It's going to sound cliche. I mean, I think that people can put their heart and soul into things, and as long as you work hard, you can accomplish a lot of great things. You know, you may not always be the smartest one in the room, but I always am a strong believer that if you put your heart and soul into everything, if you're the most well prepared, if you're the most dedicated, you know, dedication to me is a big deal. I think hard work is a big deal, and I think those 2 qualities can really make you successful. And so that's what those are my suggestions. I'm really obtaining the American dream.